In this video, we are going over common denominators. Before we get into common denominators, let's do a quick review on numerators and denominators. So the numerator of a fraction is going to be the top part of the fraction, and what it represents is how many total parts of the fraction are occupied or filled. The denominator is going to be the bottom part of the fraction, and what the denominator represents is how many total equal parts the fraction is divided up into. So now we're going to get into common denominators. And common denominators are when a set or group of fractions share the same denominator. So an example of this would be 2/8 and 7/8. They both share the denominator of 8, so these have common denominators. Here's another example of common denominators. You have 3/5 and 1/5, and they both share the denominator of 5. Let's do another example. So we have 4/7 and 4/5. These are not common denominators because 7 and 5 are not equal. Even though the numerators are the same, that doesn't matter because the denominators have to be the same to be common denominators. So one thing you might be asking is, why does it matter if the denominators are the same? And it matters because when adding or subtracting fractions, you got to make the denominators common. So in that example of 4/7 and 4/5, if you wanted to add or subtract these fractions, you would need to get the denominators the same. So now the question is, how do you get the denominators the same? And that's what we're going to go over in the video, and there's two main strategies here. The first is the multiply by the opposite denominator strategy. The second is the finding the least common multiple strategy. So let's start with that first one, multiply by the opposite. Let's look at a visual example of this, of why this is important. So if we have 4/7 right there, visually 4/7, and we're going to multiply it by 5, what that does is it cuts up each seventh into fifths. So right there, we have 5 slices in that seventh, and then you apply that to the entire fraction. And so you see here we have 20 filled in and 35 total. So that gives us the fraction 20/35. If we do the same thing over here with 4/5, and so again, when we multiply this by 7, what it does is it cuts each of those sections into 7. So that first one, we have 7 parts here, apply it to the rest of the fraction, and you see that we have 28 filled in parts and 35 total, which gives us the 28/35. And so when we look at these right together, now we have common sections. So see, each section is broken up into 35, and now we can add or subtract them if we need to. So in this strategy, you're going to multiply the entire fraction by the other fraction's denominator. So let's start with 4/7. So we're going to multiply this entire fraction by the other fraction's denominator, in this case 5. So we're going to multiply 4 and 7 by 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 7 times 5 is 35. And now we're half done. Now let's do 4/5. So we're going to multiply this entire fraction by the opposite denominator of 7. So now we're going to go 4 times 7 across the top, 5 times 7 on the bottom. So 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. And so now we have 20/35 and 28/35. And so we have common denominators. So let's do a few more examples without the visual. So 1/3 and 9/10. We want to get these common using the multiply by opposite. So we're going to multiply 1/3 by 10 on the top and the bottom. So 1 times 10 is 10. 3 times 10 is 30. And now we have 10/30, and we're going to do the opposite for 9/10. Multiply it by 3. 9 times 3 is 27. 10 times 3 is 30. And now we have common denominators of 30. Let's now move to our second strategy, the finding the least common multiple one. So in this strategy, you can write out multiples of each denominator and find the lowest common multiple that both denominators share. So let's take the example of 1/8 and 5/12. So instead of multiplying by the opposite, we're going to first find the multiples of 8 right here. And then we're going to find the multiples of 12 right here. We're going to try to find the lowest common multiple. So if you go 8 times 12, that would give us 96. And then 12 times 8 is 96. So that would be the multiplying opposite strategy. But we're going to try to find a lower common multiple they both share. So see, they both share a multiple of 72. That's still not the lowest. They also share a multiple of 48. But we still even share a lower multiple of 24. So they both share a multiple of 24. And that's the one we're going to use because that's the lowest common multiple. So what we're going to do is now multiply the fraction of 1/8 by 3. And we're going to multiply the fraction of 5/12 by 2. So now let's do this, and we're going to go 1/8. 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. and then 5 times 2 is going to be 10, and 12 times 2 is 24. So you see how we got these common denominators by multiplying the 1/8 by 3 and the 5/12 by 2. Let's do another example of this strategy with 1/6 and 7/10. So first let's find the multiples of 6, and then we're going to find the multiples of 10 here. And so again, 6 times 10 is going to give us 60, and 10 times 6 is 60. So those would be the multiply opposite strategy, but they also still share a lower common multiple of 30 here. So that's what we're going to go with, because that's the lowest common multiple that they share. So we're going to multiply the 1/6 by 5, and the 7/10 we're going to multiply by 3. So let's do that. So 1 times 5 is 5, and 6 times 5 is, of course, 30. And then 7 times 3 is 21, and 10 times 3 is 30. So by multiplying the 1/6 by 5 and the 7/10 by 3, we get a common denominator of 30. So a quick recap of both strategies. So multiplying by the opposite denominator, sometimes this is the least common multiple. So you just do that and you actually can't find a lower one. But if not, it means you'll have to do more simplifying later in the problem. Finding the least common multiple strategy, it's more work at the start of the problem because you've got to find the multiples of both. But once you do that, it's going to result in less simplifying at the end of the problem. So think about the first strategy is going to be more work at the end, and the second strategy is going to be more work at the start. So let's quickly recap what we learned in this video. So we did a quick review of what the numerator and denominator are. Second thing we learned is why we need to get denominators to the same value. And again, it's because when we add and subtract fractions, we need to do this. Then we learned the first strategy of getting denominators to the same by multiplying by the opposite fraction's denominator. Then we learned the second strategy is you can get them the same by finding the least common multiple. If you enjoyed this video and you're interested in learning more about TurtlEd, visit us more at www.withturtled.com.